Hi, I'm Ethan Weiner. In this video, I'll show you how RealTraps are made. RealTraps manufactures some of the most highly regarded acoustic treatment in the world. Our products are used in audiophile listening rooms, home theaters, professional recording studios, and even in churches and auditoriums. Our customers include some of the most famous engineers and producers in the world, such as Barry Gibb, Bob Clearmountain, Charles Dye, Bob Katz, and Nile Rodgers. Our corporate customers include NBC Universal, Google, the William Morris Agency, Epcot Center, and numerous colleges and universities. The design process begins when my partner Doug Ferrara and I develop a concept. Then Doug creates a formal drawing in Microsoft Visio, a popular engineering program. These are the products that Doug and I have designed, but you think, well, it's a piece of metal, it's got some holes in it. But when you see the detail and the dozens and dozens of hours that go into creating a drawing that describes a really precision piece, all this stuff is to 1/1000th of an inch. And the fit and finish is very important to us and to our customers. We want to make a really high quality product, and we do.
Here's the Godbout, which was without a doubt the most complex design we've done, because it includes a stand, wheels, and extension pieces.
Next, we send our Visio drawings to the CAD designer at RAM Specialty Fabrications in Naugatuck.
SolidWorks allows us to shape sheet metal parts in a bent condition, make full assemblies of these parts, and then flatten them out into a flattened condition and transfer them into a punch or laser to cut.
RAM is one of Connecticut's leading industrial fabricators. They produce all of the metal pieces for mini traps, Mondo traps, RFC panels, and everything else we manufacture. Here you see the Trumatic 2020R, a fully automated metal punch. All of the tools needed to punch each slot and hole are loaded automatically. The machine runs unattended. The metal sheets are loaded one by one onto the bed, punched, then removed and stacked for separating.
What we have here is Ram's laser QC machine, and take a first piece part, whether it's off of the laser or the punch, and you just place it anywhere on there, and then it has a laser that actually will outline the entire part. The computer will spit out a report and tell you all your dimensions, and any dimensions that are out of tolerance will come up in red.
RAM uses this precision laser cutter to make RealTrap stands, as well as parts for other customers, such as the panel you see being cut here. Once the metal parts have been stamped, the corners and other details are then bent into shape. Some RealTraps parts require welding, such as our metal stands. RAM employs about 50 skilled workers in their 25,000 square foot facility in Naugatuck. One of RAM's newest toys is this Moto Man robotic welder. After fabrication, our metal parts are delivered to P&M Industrial Finishing in Waterbury for painting. The pieces arrive on pallets, shrink-wrapped in plastic for protection. Then they're removed from the shrink wrap and assigned a job ticket prior to painting. After unpacking, each part is degreased in a vat of N-propyl bromide solvent. The pieces are also cleaned one at a time by hand to be free of dust and other debris. After cleaning, each piece is hand-painted with a powder coat finish. Hand operation ensures that all surfaces are covered uniformly. Unlike paint, powder coat contains no liquid solvents, only the color solids.
As you know, we're using a polyester textured powder coat. Powder being a little thicker, a little more durable than the liquid coatings. More scratch resistant, a little more impact resistant. It's fairly flexible. If you dent the part, it won't chip off. Good adhesion, good protection.
The powder is charged with 70,000 volts DC, and the metal corner mounter trap is grounded. The static charge attracts the powder to the metal, holding it in place on its journey through the oven. The conveyor system is 330 feet long and constantly in motion. 80 feet of the length is inside the oven, giving a baking time of 20 to 30 minutes at 375 degrees. The conveyor moves at a pace of about 2 to 3 feet per minute, depending on how long it takes to paint each piece. After painting and inspection, the pieces are placed on a pallet with thin foam separators to protect them from scratching, then shrink wrapped. Even our rivets are painted. Tumbled in these drums, they receive 5 coats, with each coat dried in a separate pass. A key component of all RealTraps products is rigid fiberglass, which comes from supplier E.J. Davis in North Haven. E.J. Davis is a huge Connecticut supplier of insulation with about 50 employees in their 62,000 square foot facility. These batches of rigid fiberglass were just cut for a RealTraps order.
Greg Godbout, the owner of the company. We celebrated our 50th year in business in 2003.
Rigid fiberglass is a really nasty material. These professionals know how to handle it properly. A vacuum system under the saw removes all dust particles. E.J. Davis has monthly OSHA air quality inspections to ensure their workers' safety. RealTraps uses only genuine Owens Corning rigid fiberglass. The 705 we use costs us 4 times more than mineral wool, but it's a much higher quality material. This laminating machine attaches plastic, paper, and foil membrane facings to different types of insulation. Our last stop before we visit the RealTraps factory is Hi-Tech Packaging in Stratford. Hi-Tech has been in business since 1996 and employs 20 people in their 42,000 square foot facility. Besides cardboard and foam, Hi-Tech also has a full wood shop to build custom crates. RealTraps uses pre-molded foam in place for our stands and Godbout carriages. This is a cost-effective way to make relatively small runs of custom packaging cushions. The foam filler is a 2-part mixture of resin and catalyst. It cures in 30 seconds and expands about 100 times in size. RealTraps also uses custom cushions made of die-cut polyethylene foam sheets. These are the cushions we use for RFZ panels.
One of the densities we have is a 1.7 density with a 6-pound liner on it, and the blue liner you can see allows us to cut through the foam and not through the liners.
Part of what we do here at Hi-Tech Packaging is we're a highly design-oriented packaging company, so we do a lot of custom work. I've packaged everything up to small microcircuitry in multi-packs, up to 30-ton bronze statues going overseas where the crate had to be the size of a tractor trailer.
Finally, we arrive at the RealTraps factory. RealTraps occupies 2 adjacent factories in a small industrial park. One section is the warehouse and shop shown here. The other is a more finished space where our products are assembled. Orders are sent to Joe, who submits them to production and prepares the FedEx forms. Doug's daughter Amanda is our bookkeeper and also helps around the office. A lot of the materials we receive are very heavy, so we have our own forklift. Next, the metal pieces are stacked onto shelves with soft plastic separators to protect them from damage.
My name is Dave Lavolsi. I'm the purchaser here at RealTraps, and I take care of the inventory here, and I count all these fabulous frames.
The fabric RealTraps uses is custom made for us and has a specific weight and density. Here, Sean Kolar cuts lengths of fabric for the front of a mini trap. RealTraps uses two types of fabric. Standard mini traps and Mondo traps have a semi-reflective plastic membrane bonded to the rear surface. HF model traps do not have the reflecting membrane because they need to absorb mid and high frequencies as well as bass. For HF style traps, the fabric is glued to the rigid fiberglass. The only metal parts we manufacture ourselves are wall stands. Sean is the expert with these. However, we send wall stands to P&M Finishing for powder coating. Everyone who works at RealTraps is an active musician. Twin brothers Joe and Keith have a band named Margot in honor of their mom. Everyone here is accomplished on multiple instruments, and being musicians gives all of us a deep appreciation for the products we manufacture. Here you see the final assembly of a RealTraps diffuser. Although its main purpose is to diffuse sound, it's also a highly effective bass trap. The well-capped material reflects mid and high frequencies and passes bass waves where they are absorbed by the rigid fiberglass behind. The RealTraps diffuser is the most complex product we make. It takes two people working together about 2 hours to build each diffuser by hand. Now let's watch as Sean and Joe build a mini trap from the ground up. This is a standard mini trap, so the clear plastic membrane is already bonded to the backside of the fabric. Only the front surface has a membrane. The sides and rears use spray glue. Next, the metal side rails are attached. Then the crossbars in the rear for mounting. The painted rivets are inserted using an air-powered rivet gun. Finally, the product ID label is applied to the rear, and two RealTraps logo labels go on the front. Mini traps ship 2 in a box, face-to-face, with plastic-covered cardboard between them to protect their fine finish. The traps are bound together with plastic stretch wrap to keep them from bending in transit. Joe assembles the box cover with a pneumatic staple gun. Then the traps are dropped into the box bottom using the protective corner bumpers we saw being made earlier at High Tech Packaging. The box is taped, then the remaining bumpers are put into place. Finally, the box is sealed shut, then put near the door and labeled for FedEx. Their final destination is your listening room, home theater, or recording studio. Thanks for watching.